Welcome to Dork Court. This is Dork Court. We're going to judge you harshly, like dorks.
Yes. Like dorks. There he is, Steve Ukraine. All right, man.
That gives me a good chuckle every time I see it, so that's awesome.
I got this new light blue British Commando thing for my Danger 5 patch.
Oh, I like that. I was gonna say, I was like, that's a pretty nice blue. I was digging the color of it.
Little sky blue thing. It looks. Everybody goes, "Oh, what is that? Fantastic Four?" And I'm like, no. But you know, what are you gonna do? Kind of looks like it a little. It's the same blue, and it has the rib stuff in it. So you know,
I like it.
I don't blame normal people.
I can't believe that show's already like almost 15 years old.
Danger 5?
Yeah.
It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like 2013 or 2020. My brain immediately was like 2010, and I was like, I don't think it's 2010, but it's
it's
pretty
something
close.
like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty close. Oh, I'm now getting to the point now where it's ranges. I used to be really good to be like, oh, that came out in 87. And now I'm like, now it came out late 80s. I don't remember the exact date.
I honestly think it's the coronavirus, man. It just really messed everybody's time up of what happened when.
Everything scrunched. Oh, what? Oh, yes, must watch.
Yeah, Chris Sagsag of all people, I think, would really like that show.
It's
basically if it's, you know, I don't even know how to explain it. It's everything that we like from the old days, except super funny and with extra Australian. Just like their whole, like, if I was gonna say it's Hogan's Heroes if Hogan's Heroes was funny, but Hogan's Heroes is pretty fucking funny.
It's true. Yeah, yes. Well, it is a comedy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just that this is funnier.
Yeah, it's like the easiest way to describe it is like it's like something filmed in 2010 and it's like a 60s parody and it's low budget. So you know they're like the minute you add low budget to like a bunch of people that are actually very funny, it works. It always works.
It just totally does. It sort of gives me the same vibe as FDR American Badass, if you've seen that, Chris.
Yes, I have seen. Yes.
I know you've seen it. I think you and Mark were the ones who told me to watch it.
Yeah,
I love that movie so much. It has been a while though, because my Netflix name is Danger 5.
Oh, it's okay. That's crazy.
When they first put their little icons on there,
yep.
They had a race car driver and he had a 5 on his head. So I'm like, okay, that's awesome. I'll be Danger 5. And then after about a year, they changed it to an N for Netflix. And so that's what it is now, but it still says Danger 5.
All right. Next thing to add to Chris's watching is it's called FDR American Badass. That I think also came out around the same time. That's like early 2010s.
I think that's why I associate it.
Yeah, but it's Barry Bostwick. I think it's Barry Bostwick.
Yeah, I remember. He's FDR.
Yeah, and it's total spoof. Who else is in that? Hercules, the guy. He's a little more of a Trumper now, but Sorbo, Kevin Sorbo.
Oh, is he?
Too. Yeah.
I just the guy from Twin Peaks is in it.
Oh, Ray Wise.
Ray Wise
is in it. I'm like, my brain is like trying to think of all the cast.
The guy who plays D-Day in Animal House. I never remember his name. He was God in the Quantum Leap.
McGill.
Bruce McGill.
Bruce McGill.
Bruce McGill's in it. And then all the Nazi werewolves. I mean, Chris, you would never stop laughing at this movie. It's just hilarious.
It's pretty spectacular. It's funny because it's.
But speaking of low budget, right?
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
They have real actors in it, but they spent they just did it for sandwiches.
Yeah,
and you can tell, and it makes it funnier.
Why I like it so much is it's like that line in the sand where you have like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, where we're like, we're actually going to make this, and you're gonna like it,
right?
And then there's FDR American Badass, and you're like, yep, we're in on the joke too. And it's like, I like those movies.
Yeah, I like it better because the audience is taking it seriously enough for everybody because we're
Yes.
buying the ticket, man.
Yes.
So do what you can to make us laugh.
Yeah. No, solid. It's funny. There's like a lot. There was like a period of time where like people were okay like putting out like a little bit of like that parody stuff. That kind of like dissipated a bit again. But I feel like that's like a wave, right? It kind of comes and then it kind of goes away for a bit. It needs like you know what? I was chatting with someone about it today. It's like Scary Movie, right? Scary Movie kind of came out. It was like, all right, we're gonna do like the parody of like all these horror movies that you're seeing on the TV, and then Scary Movie comes for a bit, and then Scary Movie's like, yeah, the parody we're gonna put that to pause for a bit, and we're not gonna make those anymore. And then now Scary Movie's gonna make a little bit of a comeback, but it's just like you got to put some like to the spoofing and the parody ones. Are kind of like waves. They're not always. You don't get one every year, you know.
Well, the Scary Movie one happens because, and probably in general for your point, is that once it starts to be well known, it becomes self-parody, right?
Yes.
So like Scary Movie started to become its own thing.
Right.
So like it's possible you could do a Scary Movie parody now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
So like
true,
they have enough of their own tropes and in jokes that you could riff on that, and then once that happens, you absolutely have to put it on pause because you'll ruin what's cool about it.
That's true. I didn't think about it that way.
I've been thinking about that because that's what's happening in Star Trek now.
Well,
that it's self-parody and they need to just get rid of the fucking guys who are working on it and let somebody who understands the IP do it.
Well, as I love to do, I love to hear your thoughts on what is. First off, it's getting ripped to shreds right now.
Oh, the Starfleet Academy?
Yeah, it's like I mean, like where I go. So I'd like to say where I get my feedback and reviews of movies is not the normal. It's not Variety. It's not normal channels. It's
not the trades.
Yeah, it's
they're in with a chance.
Yeah, it's the sewer dwellers. You know what I mean? It's like, and they're really killing it right now. Is it as bad as?
Like even the most charitable reading of it is that this is the definition of a whiffed pitch. I kind of get what they're trying to do. It's just they're making a CW Star Trek show. So, and that's great. And I'm sure it sounds great in the boardrooms.
Yeah.
And in the writers' rooms even when people just do, but it's not good, man.
Well,
it's somebody's fucking used crankcase oil is in my peanut butter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
it's not, but it'll limp along for a couple of years and everybody will point and laugh. But this is just weird because they've already finished principal photography on the second season and they've struck the sets. So like the audience all knows before the first episode comes out, this thing is over in 2 years. So why invest, right?
Yeah,
it's not good.
You know what? It's funny that you describe it that way because it's like I think television has this unwritten thing, at least from our age, where it's like if things aren't automatically renewed, I kind of want to see it so I have an opinion on should it be renewed. And when I watch something that I know is getting like it almost has an end date already, or is like, I'll catch that later. Like, do you know what I mean? Like this is a great example.
There's no immediacy whatsoever.
Correct. It's going to be compartmentalized and on a DVD, and I'll watch it when I watch it.
Or streaming, right? Yeah. Like everybody's going to have whatever Paramount turns into, and so there's no reason to like. I mean, streaming killed. Water cooler Monday at work anyway, right? And then if you know, like we just did this literally. I mean, we're us, we're a media family, we're up on everything.
Yeah.
And somehow Night Manager got by us. And so we finished up some show and they're like, well, if you like this, you like Night Manager. I'm like, hey, I've been looking at this for like 8 years or whatever,
right?
Coming up, and we love Hiddleston. and now it's him from 2016. So it's 10 years.
Right.
So let's just go look at young Tim Hiddleston,
young Loki. Yeah,
check it out, and it was fantastic. We crushed it in like 3 days, and now it's a big deal now because season 2 just dropped. So we had the luxury of going, well, we can watch all this and it's amazing, and we don't have to wait 9 years for season 2.
Right. Right. Well, you're exactly right.
So talk about no immediacy. Like, if you think Starfleet Academy is going to be good, you've got 10 years to watch it.
So the one thing that keeps on getting parodied and where I'm going is the scene where I guess like a macho guy is kind of standing in the middle of the, like, he's kind of, I don't know the context.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I'll share like what the people are saying, but it's essentially like a young, like if you replace them with like a young Chris Pine Kirk standing in a room, and then essentially he gets like browbeat by a bunch of people. Is that accurate? Or am I reading it wrong? Or like,
I don't know what scene you're talking about.
I guess it's with Tig with
that one. Oh yeah. Oh well, the Tig's thing is pretty good.
Okay.
It's not so much he's getting browbeaten. He's he's the sassy Han Solo character, right?
I was gonna say he's like the cocky, like that's
right.
Right. Okay.
So his backstory is the bad guy separated himself from his mother because of Starfleet when he was 6.
Okay.
And so he's become a ward of the Federation who broke out of whatever that means, being taken care of when he was 8.
Okay.
And has been just taught himself the ways of the world.
Sure.
So he's not street smart, he's super, universe smart. But, the scene with Tig is that, he's trying to bluster his way through, like he's survived up until now. And she's like, we're in a classroom setting. This is his own deal. Let me show you how it's going to go. And she just breaks it down for him. So it does kind of seem like she's giving him shit, but it's warranted.
Oh, got it. So it kind of aligns with, I'm always like, I always watch those because sometimes the narrative in some of those is just like, oh, macho guy, beat him up. It's like, and I know there is a lot of that on a lot of the shows, but also at the same time, I'm like, I don't know enough about the characters, so I'm like, I figured I'd ask and get context.
It's a compelling thing because the streamer dropped the first 2 episodes, even though they just did the first one on YouTube.
Okay.
And the first one's kind of average.
Okay.
Like distressingly average, but
and you're like, okay, keep on going. Sorry.
I just meant it's you can tell it's for the brief though, right? Because they're literally just introducing all the kid characters and making sure that this is the cocky athlete guy. This is the quiet girl who's probably autistic, but she's really a hologram.
Yeah.
All this weird shit that if you love Archie comics and One Tree Hill, you're gonna fucking love this show, but it just doesn't really need to exist.
Yeah, like the first 20 minutes of Breakfast Club. So
that's why Chris, exactly. That's why Chris is like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
And that is the hurdle that they're trying to get over with paying for all the, like, it's 89% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. But I'm like, dude, you're bragging about 89%. And now look at what the audience says. It's like 4.
Yeah, but so the funny part is, like, Rotten Tomatoes and some of these other ones now there are ways to manipulate those numbers very easily.
Yes.
It's gone are the days of like handing, Roger Ebert like a grand to say like, this was a great movie. Like they don't do that anymore. Now it's, hey,
well, it's part of their, it's part of their marketing blast strategy.
100%. It's like a bot. It's a bot farm. I could link you to about 8 of them if you wanted. So
that would just depress me.
Yeah,
but it's so clear, that nobody doing that stuff really wants anything to succeed on its merits. They just want the instant gratification of the giant likes and the super good overnights. And then they can forget it and move on to the next thing. And it's like, yeah, that's cool if you're ABC in 1979, but that's just not how it works anymore.
Yeah, I feel like Star Trek has always been a step behind where they need to be. Like I mean it just from a sense of like historically, like they're always just like a little too slow in the like catch up to where they need. You know what I mean? Like the movies, like the Abrams movies, if they came out a little earlier, dude, we'd still be watching those movies. Like they would still be making them a little bit, and they just came out a little too late, and they didn't get the right. And even this TV show, like this TV show seems so like 2020, 2021.
Dude, try 1986.
Yeah.
Seriously, the Starfleet Academy idea has been around since right after Wrath of Khan 2.
Right.
And the reason they haven't done it is because it's anti-Star Trek. You know? So they did what they could. The Academy now is a ship.
Yeah.
So okay, well that's cool because even though it docks at the Discovery Museum in Sausalito on the other end of the bridge, you know where
that's awesome.
You know where the Coast Guard thing is right there?
You know I live in Marin, so yes.
Right. Yeah. So that's where Starfleet Academy is now.
That's amazing. That's cool.
And they keep saying San Francisco, and I'm like, well, it better be the fucking future. And San Francisco's over in Marin now because you're wrong.
Right.
It kind of makes me unnaturally mad.
Well,
they do these like loving shots of the Golden Gate Bridge, right? And from the San Francisco side, and you sweep down and see the whatever that fort's name is. It's not
Presidio, but I know where you're talking about.
There's a fort that they had to build the end of the bridge over.
Yeah, where
so it has this really cool cantilevered arch over it, and the other side doesn't.
Right.
So whatever you show the Marin side facing the city, it's like
Fort Point
cool.
Is it Fort Point?
Fort Point.
Yeah,
and that makes sense because it's on the point, right?
Well, yeah. I didn't know. I couldn't think of the name. I had to look.
Of course, you call it that. Oh man, when Walker was about 4, we just went over there to have some laughs, and they were doing a Civil War
reenactment.
Yeah, like here's what this fort did, and you see the weather here. This is where these guys lived.
Yeah.
And it's super cold because it's just brick and metal out here, and the wind. And Walker just like it thrilled him.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
He really got. I think that's when he got into the like. Oh, you mean you can put on a coat and become a different person and tell a story?
Yeah.
I think that's where he really got the love for that. You know,
that's awesome.
Because there was another kid there that was about 8 or 10, whose dad was doing it. You know.
Oh, okay.
And the dad was like, "Here, I'm a medical doctor, and here's all the gear that I have." You know, and it's like. It was really cute, you know. It was like basically sharp knives and little vials of clear liquid, you know.
That's so cool. I didn't think they did stuff like that there, but that's pretty sharp.
We just ran across it. Like, well, Mimi was with us that time, but Walker and I have a lot of luck doing that. But it's mostly because we would go out and do shit while she was taking care of business.
Sure.
So when we went to London, when
you were with her when she was there for business,
she was doing a business trip, and we felt guilty. Because we were doing all this cool shit. So one day I said, look, we're just going to go walk in the park. We're not going to do anything and come back and tell you something. So we had such a great day because we were open to everything because we weren't looking for anything, right? So I found a like max headroom 2.3 meters sign. I took a picture. I explained to him like why that was so cool. And we ran into this girl who was playing with the birds in the park, and we like rapped with her for a while. That was cool. And we just kept walking around, and then we ended up, and I'm like, oh, hey, Walker, that's Buckingham Palace. That's where the Queen lives. It's really cool. And right as we get there, they started doing the changing of the guards.
Oh,
like we couldn't have planned it better, you know?
Yeah.
That's the bit Star Trek's missing.
Well, I was gonna say what the ended part there is kind of like that's my mode of vacation. It's I don't want to okay, we might have a plan in the day, but my goal is always to just kind of wander and find.
Yeah.
Because what you end up doing is exactly that. You wander into the changing of the guard. What I don't want is I don't want to be like in line in line at 1 o'clock waiting to see the Mona Lisa. It's like, oh, I randomly walked over there and it's 4:30 and where is everyone? Oh my God, no one's here. That's my approach to some of the stuff. But anyway, I don't know how we go back
Well,
to
it's
Trek,
us.
but
We're just two dads rapping, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how this happens.
but
But I wanted to tell Chris, like, I'm not baffled why you don't care, but I honestly think let us be your guys, because I see a world within like 2 or 3 episodes you might care. I
Oh.
don't. You wouldn't care now. The first, like, just hanging out online with you and rapping with you, understanding your taste. I don't think Chris is gonna like the first episode at all, and he'd be like, with a maximum open mind, he'd be like, "Well, the second one made it like a C."
Okay.
You know,
I mean, hey, sometimes that's fair too.
a C is not. You know, that's average.
Yeah,
That's great. But my big thing, and most Star Trek fans thing, is how in God's fucking name is Star Trek average? Right? It's supposed to be this epic sweeping scope of philosophy and religion and fucking doing the right thing and it's not pew pews and fast ships, and they just write it like it's Star Wars, and it's like, man, 2 guys in a room talking about one guy being half black on the left side, the other guy being half black on the right side is fucking crazy good and echoes throughout the universe. But this show, oh look, there's a girl that's half black and half white that's a cadet 1,000 years in the future, but her hair is half black and half white too. Like, well, those people are called Sharons, and they have the hair they have. And the 2 that we had in the original series with Kirk and Spock were the last ones of their race.
right.
So how are there more of them in the future? I don't know. Maybe you found them, but they're not the same guys because they have different hair. And it's just everything they do is like 30% off.
I was gonna say
It just makes me 30%. You suck.
It's it's the inclusion of Easter egg with no context of why the Easter egg needs to be there.
Right.
I think I always go back to your giant tribble, right? It's like, it's the giant tribble. It's like that doesn't why?
Yeah. Well, I said to Price the other day, and he loved this one. It's just they know Star Trek phonetically, you know,
right?
They know that it's the Enterprise, and they know that this is a phaser. And the one that killed me is everybody was holding their communicators in the Discovery show like this, like.
Talking in the bottom, because that's where their cell phone,
right? Like a modern, they're holding it like a modern cell
not
phone.
Tilted, because it's the speaker part is on top of it.
So instead of doing this, you know, this is all fucking badass 20th century, they're just holding it like this.
Right?
Okay, so hey, what's
it's a
up?
cell phone. Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Anyway.
Well, it's again, it always goes back to the. I attribute it to like the coloring book knowledge base of an IP. You know, it's like, oh, what does your grandmother know about Star Wars? Oh, she knows like there's Darth Vader, and then there's the kids, and then that, you know, that bear dog looking thing. You know, and it's like
my grandmother had a pretty good Chewbacca impersonation.
Yeah, but it's like that's the but you get what I'm saying. It's like that,
I do.
It's that level. And then you're like, oh, you hire people that know one level below that, when then you have something that's been around for as long, and there are people that, you know how many minutes on screen, William Shatner was on in totality of like, as playing Kirk. Do you know what I mean?
I do, but not just that. Multiply that by how many Star Trek fans there are, because everybody has their own area of interest and expertise, right? Like I got those 79 episodes, 78, because fuck, and the children shall lead them. Fuck that episode. I never watch it. But I have them all memorized, right? So that's my thing. I understand the narrative. I enjoy the themes and stuff, and I quote but somebody like Price, he's like really into the dates and the numbers. So like he knows what year shit happened.
Right. So he's like, this doesn't correspond with what's going on here.
And that drives him insane, because they're like, nobody really cares about this. Let's just fudge it a little. And he's like, no, there's no way that Kirk is older than Scotty now. Right? Because Scotty's 44 when Kirk is 32. You know, I mean, that's because in World War II, you had old veterans running the ship.
Yes.
And maybe you got a hotshot captain, right? But everybody else kept him in line. Like the doctor fucking would smarten him up, and the engineer was just telling him to fucking mind his own business.
But that's
to
just
the
like,
point where he lies to him. Oh, that's
Yeah.
going to take 3 weeks, you know? And then he does it in 3 hours. He's like, I'm a miracle worker. It's like, that's all character. And that's all just missing from modern.
That's the part that just, I've probably said this to you a billion times. That's the part of this that just, I never understand, because it's like Star Wars always realized the mythology, and there was the person that would always be like, yep, that you can't do that because of X, Y, and Z. And even if it was, and then they even established like this is out of continuity or this is in continuity and all that stuff. But they went the extra mile to always make sure like, nope, this doesn't align. We're not doing it. And I guess it's also because they own the, Lucas owned it, the whole package for, he could control it.
I think that's it mostly, is that he was hiring the cats that he was trying to herd, right?
Sure.
So at least he could control it that much. And Star Trek did that in the early days, right? Because they only could control the stories.
Right.
So they hired science fiction writers.
Right.
And that's why they're all smoking good. And the second season of Star Trek is just critic proof, man. Literally every episode is fantastic. And it's, it might be crazy, cheesy, and stuff like that, but man, it's on the beam for what it's trying to tell you, you know?
Right.
So, but this show, the modern Star Trek, it's not just this Starfleet Academy. It kind of didn't offend me. You know what I mean? You've
been offended. You know what?
The modern Star Trek offends me. It's because they're not paying attention. It's like, that's cool. What it is their philosophy is that we're gonna do what we want.
Yes.
And the thing is, but wait, you have a full restaurant of people that are waiting for Gene's apple pie.
Yes.
So you have to it's not going to be as good. We get it, but you have to at least cook those pies to his recipe, man.
Yes.
And that's the part that they're like,
well, that's the part that they don't care. That's
care.
The part I don't understand. That's the part I don't get. It's like, why spit in the face of a loyal fan base that will like always be loyal?
I totally get it.
And
so you do too. If you
I
thought
get it,
2 seconds about it, it's a 100% ego.
Yeah.
It's like, well, these guys will lap up whatever we do because it says Star Trek on it. And just make sure to use that font, and maybe hire, Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother, because he was in one when he was 7.
Right.
That's what the level they're thinking. And then we'll do what we want, and we'll take care of the old people who are just going to swallow whatever we give them. And then we'll have these new people, to the point in this episode. Here's one for Chris, man. They are talking to the audience. At one point they say, oh yeah, this is all new stuff because we're looking for a different demographic. They have a character say that.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's the problem in a nutshell right there. Is that you're not servicing the demographic you have with trying to reach out a little.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, fuck those guys, we're going over there. Well, that's a roulette wheel spin, man. That's not
well,
having the right cards.
Speaking of that, it will be interesting to see, like, that would be like the reboot of Stargate that we're essentially getting, right?
Okay.
It will be like, how much do they go that route where they're just like, oh, you saw that old Stargate stuff? That's old Stargate stuff. We don't care about that. But then you're like, so it'll be interesting to see how they do that. It's like, do they, because I think, is it on Amazon?
Yeah,
So,
I don't really follow it. I just saw the first movie and it bummed me out because Kurt Russell had tragic backstory. And so I didn't really follow the TV shows. I was aware of him though, like, Jason Momoa playing some guy.
Sure.
And I love the Teal character. I don't know how to.
Oh yeah, the main guy. Yeah.
The guy.
Right.
He was cool, but so I think you could do it because the function of it's just a wormhole, pocket wormhole they walk through. Right?
I guess what I'm getting at is like,
so just go somewhere else, and you're like, well, the Stargate stuff is still there,
right?
And then do what you want.
Yes.
That's what they're missing from Star Trek.
That's
it's like
that's
the
what
ship's
I mean.
still here. The characters all love each other, and then they see weird shit every week, and that's not what they do.
Right. It's like, but you know what it is? It's exactly, you nailed it with like the portal. It's like, oh, here's the portal. That's the connection to Stargate, and there's the stuff you know. But we're over here. It's just over here. But
we turned it and got a different combination. Now we're over here. Come check out our shit.
We don't, but it's like we don't hate that stuff. We don't hate that old stuff. We're just doing this over here. So we'll respect that, but we're doing this, which is why, like I've always said, like Favreau and Filoni are like they're like, we worship at the altar of Lucas, but at the same time we're going to do our own shit. But guess what? We will never do. We're never going to make you say, well, I mean, I think minimally, but it's like, like, oh shit, like that really, like you're saying that what Lucas did. No, it's our own thing, but we're honoring what was established here.
Part of, yes, I agree 100%. And part of how they can get away with it is Star Wars is a fairy tale.
Yes.
Right. So as long as you keep the aspect of that, it's fine. But the thing about Star Trek is it's not. And everybody thinks, oh yeah, but they got laser guns and flying around, and the best, the cool guy's best friend has pointed ears, so it's an alien. And it's like, yeah, but the entire time they're talking about man's inhumanity to man, or some kind of like, it's not a fucking party.
Well, that's probably, I think that's why Mark has always said this to me. He goes, that's why Star Trek has always been on a downslope, because it's like, and he used to say this in the comic book store. I have to ask him if he remembers this, because I never watched Star Trek. But
no, I don't. That's why you're like really steeped in it for something you don't really give a shit about.
Well, you know what? It's like everything else. It's like, you have buddies and friends that are super into something. You're like, I should know at least what I know. But he was saying, like, you have like the original, the classic, and that's like the peak. And then you have the classic series, and then those original movies, and again, you're still in the peak. But you eventually you water it down. You water down the the message that you're trying to portray in each of these stories, and as you keep on going down, and then you introduce something new, Next Generation, and that has its own thing. But it's still, Next Generation is never going to be at the true heights of the classics and the classic movies. They might have movies that are really great and episodes, but the message continually gets watered down as you go down through history. You know what I mean?
I do, and I think Star Trek avoided that until Secret Hideout showed up, because even the J.J. Abrams, which is where Secret Hideout came from, that's they're associated with J.J. Abrams. When he did the movies, though, they did a really smart thing and said, this is a different universe.
Well,
right?
Exactly. Yes.
And it was baked into the plot that you could have two Spocks talking to each other, right? Because it was old Spock and young Spock, and you kind of went, wow, we're getting legitimacy, because there's the guy everyone knows as Spock, and he's talking to this other guy, treating him like a younger version of himself. So now he's got legitimacy, and then you can just kind of ride with that and go, anything you don't like, it's like, well, that's the other universe that happened when Romulus blew up, right?
Right.
And everything that you do like is like amplified. So they did not take that thing to the TV world with them. They were like, let's just jam all the shit that we have heard like you, right? We've heard our friends and our family talking about this forever. Well, we got to have Spock's dad in it, I guess. And then they pronounce his name wrong. Like, what? Yeah. It's like us calling you Stev.
Yeah. That
it's like,
I'd still answer, but I'd be like, why?
No excuse for that.
Yeah.
I'd answer on the set had to go, hey, they say that Sarek for like 55 years. No, we're saying Sarek, and there's fuck you. All right. Maybe that's what they were doing to make it seem like, hey, this isn't really Star Trek, and we don't really own the rights to do this.
I don't get
so
that.
Our guy says it like that, and they were just hamstrung by that whole Viacom CBS thing. And now this. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, whatever. Good, best of luck to them. Hope it works out. There was some cool stuff. Like if Sagasag watched Prodigy, there's this big character, a race of characters that kind of look like Ben Grimm thing. They're just orange
Okay.
rocky people. But and so there was a character on the
I'm looking it up.
it's called the race is called Brickar, I think. Brikar, something like that. And but in the cartoon, it kind of just gets lost because everybody's a monster, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
But they took that guy and the 3D mesh for the cartoon and it imported it in and just had one of them walking by.
Well, I would say in the background.
No, it was they were walking with one of the lead actors, one of the cast
That's
members.
pretty crazy.
And she was kind of having a conversation. She was talking to it. It didn't talk back, but it didn't answer back, but it nodded. And they just took the mesh and just put like little arrowheads on the straps and stuff. So that was cool. And there was a character from Lower Decks, an Exocomp. It's a sentient robot, maintenance robot.
Okay.
And it was from Next Generation. They drew it into Lower Decks and gave it a name called Peanut Hamper. Because that's how it was hiding that it was sentient, because people just like stored shells and crap in it, you know. And so it had this cute girl's voice, and it was just some cartoon voiceover actress. But they had that flying by in this episode.
Oh, that's
and
crazy.
Different colors, but it was like, excuse me, and they got the same actress, and in the credits they credited her because she has lines, right?
That's awesome.
But you know who she's playing? The first one was named Peanut Hamper. This one was named like Almond Bin or something.
That's okay. That's I dig that.
Like, even 1,000 years in the future, they're shitting on those robots.
Yeah, that's funny. That's pretty great.
Anyway,
well, I will give it a shot just so I can understand what you guys are chatting about.
I think it's so awesome that you're like, all right, I'll watch it.
Well, my Lauren's taking Harper to a volleyball tournament this weekend, so it's just me and Marlo. So and Marlo's pretty inner video game land, so I'll be like, all right, I'll buzz. And you said it's only 2 episodes are out, so I'll just that's nothing. So
I'd be curious to what you think, because you're the guy they're trying to get.
Yeah. The cash TV watcher.
A guy who's like, you're on their side. You like genre stuff.
Yep.
You get what's going on. All your buddies like Star Trek. So besides the girls and the tweens that they're never, ever going to get.
Yes.
Because the one thing that they did wrong is they did not cast this like 90210.
Like a CW. Exactly. Everyone looks a little older.
Not just older. Everybody's like wildly out of shape. Let's put it that way. And the bridge crew is just not good, man.
Yeah, but that's kind of unrealistic too, isn't it?
It very much is unrealistic because space is difficult.
Yes.
So you're not, I mean,
right,
they do a lot of stuff that, the MAGA people, it's all the stuff that they say is woke, that bullshit.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
To the point where, like, everything and all the design, everything, like the arrowhead is split. Like all the characters are half Klingon and half Tellarite, or half this and half that. And I get the idea. They're trying to say that like 1,000 years
more diverse.
Future,
it's
everything is fractured.
Yeah.
And now Starfleet has to come together and put it back together. I get it, but in practice, it's the difference between Marvel movies and DC movies, right? Marvel is like, hey, we're having a blast, and then stuff starts to get wrong, and then holy shit. And then 10 years later, you give a shit when Thanos snaps his fingers, right?
Right.
And then the DC movies were like, well, let's just do Justice League. We'll cast everything and then split it off into our individual things. And they're like, no, because your audience doesn't care yet.
It's the reverse of that. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
So that's what they're doing. They're like expecting that you're going to care because it says Star Trek without doing any of the stuff to make you care. So I said this to Walker. I was like, because he's like, what is bothering you so much about this? And I'm like, because we were talking about the writing and stuff,
Okay.
we were watching it. He says, let's watch Star Trek academically. I'm like, fuck yeah, man, because like that's my problem, right?
Yeah.
Is not doing what it's supposed to do. That's why had that recipe thing. You have to do the pie to the recipe because I said that to him.
Right. Okay.
But he was like what don't you like? And I was like, all of the characters do not show their character with their behavior or dialogue. They do not. The actors are not acting anything because you can get away with a lot going, or whatever,
Right. Sure.
little actor bits of business. Like literally, they are writing, and it's not their fault. It's the fucking writers or the guy who are stepping on the writers, because professional TV writers should know this. But every character has a trait or a tick or supports a trope. Nobody has a character.
Right. No one's just that guy. Like it's like everyone has you're exactly right. Everyone's playing a role. It's not, they're not playing just the character or the role. You're right. You said it. It's the trope. They're playing the trope.
Right. They have little traits and ticks, right?
Like honestly, like here's the gay guy. Like I know that's dumb, but like I'm probably oversimplifying it, but
that's okay, right? Yeah. Like if you do that, because then you're talking about archetypes, and that's what I was just gonna say is that like Lost kind of had this problem in the beginning, but they got around it because they had a character that just gave everybody nicknames. So you had a character that was emphasizing the archetypes, right? Like he'd be like, okay, Freckles, right on, lifeguard, right? Stuff like that. And so you kept it in your head. Oh, that's the blonde girl. That's the guy who's a lifeguard. Wait, didn't he just say that he was a valet? Oh, he was both. You know what I mean? There's ways to do it. And I brought all this up just to tell you what they're doing to poor Holly Hunter.
Oh, okay. All right.
So Holly Hunter's character is the chancellor of the school. Okay. And she's in charge. She's the captain of the ship that flies around with these cadets in it. Okay. So do you expect she's a captain? Do you expect she's serious? Do you expect her to be John Gilgun in Paper Chase? She is a full-on 4'10" Appalachian hillbilly.
Really?
See, she sits in the captain's chair like this, like reading a book, and then she gets up, and you see, wow, she's really a small actress. Oh, she doesn't even have shoes on, and
she's barefoot.
There's a whole scene where, like, the commandant of the war college is, because there's a whole like war part of Starfleet now.
Okay, is like,
you're out of uniform, and she's like, no, I'm not. This is fine for what I do. And he's like, you don't have shoes. I like to feel the hull plating on my feet. And like, that's just a tick, man. That's not a character. Right. And they do something like that for everybody. And the one character it works on is this Klingon who is there to study medicine. He wants to be a doctor, which is, everybody's like, what? You're not a warrior? He's like,
right, yeah.
No, I'm going to be saving everybody from you nuts.
Not a killer, right? Yeah.
And well, he doesn't go that far, right? He's just like, no, I'm the guy who's going to do this. Fuck you. And so they write him as a Klingon. He's just doing a non-typical job. So I'm like, that character is great. Like, give me a show about that kid trying to make it in a world he never made.
Right.
Like, I was raised to be a badass, but here's a Band-Aid. And
yeah, like weakness is not great, but like I'm gonna be helping you. Yeah, exactly.
I'll watch that guy go do stuff all day long, and I probably will just be following that guy in this show because he's great. Because everybody else is like,
but the Holly Hunter with the shoes off on the ship, it just doesn't even make it doesn't make sense.
Not just that. Then there's another choice they made, to shoot it. They're like, we made the biggest set for Star Trek ever. It's this giant atrium. Somebody watched Passengers. So, who planted a tree in my ship? This one has 2 trees. Right. So that's bigger, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just, and it looks like the inside of a Dave and Buster's. Oh. And so that was Walker's problem, because he's like, look, I just went to college like these guys.
Right.
Like, I'm sitting here in a room with 2 guys I don't know. And we can make it all work, but these guys are in a paramilitary thing, trying to save, put the Federation back together, and they look like they live in a mall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, man, 1,000 years in the future. And then, because I've been saying that about when Discovery did that,
right?
I was just like, look, none of this works. I'm like, if they had just said like 400 years in the future or whatever, it's just 1,000 is they just did a round number, and it's like everything in this show should be different. Like the difference between Vikings and us,
Right?
right?
I
That's the difference. And if you're gonna do that, that's science fiction. Fucking go insane.
Well, that's what. Yeah,
and they're not.
And well, that's even more. That's even more of a disservice.
I agree.
Because you've given yourself
missed opportunity.
You've given yourself the runway to be completely unique, completely out left field, completely like, you know, like do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And then you're guardrailing you don't, and you're guardrailing yourselves, but at the same time, 1,000 years in the future, you have like you said, the hillbilly captain walking around on the ship without shoes on.
Well, so then they did this thing, and she's part of it, right? Because 1,000 years is so fucking stupid, they tried to address it. So the emergency medical hologram from Voyager's in the show.
Oh, right, Picardo, right?
Picardo. He's been alive for the last 900 years. 500 years ago, having introduced a aging program to make all the human beings a little more comfortable around him.
Okay.
So after 500 years, he's aged about 10.
Yeah. Okay.
So
does he look? I mean, so
he looks great. He's actually good. He's good.
He's a great actor.
He's just literally playing the same character, right? So it's really cool to see him come in and do this thing that we're all familiar with, to the point where there's a scene where he's trying to get some girl to sing opera with him.
Okay.
That was a thing from the old show.
Interesting.
There was an episode where he accidentally had opera singing downloaded into him, and so it wasn't like a musical or anything, but it was just, it was a character take that they made it a thing. And they're like, no, he really appreciates opera now, and he's an opera guy. And so now in this show, they're like, okay, I'm in charge of the opera club, right? And it's kind of funny. But the Holly Hunter character is also, I don't know, you're not following. Do you know Carol Kane's in Strange New Worlds?
I know Carol. Yeah.
Yeah. So she plays a character that's like 700 years old.
Wait, Carol Kane, like the actress Carol
Yeah.
Kane? Yeah.
Yeah. Storming the Castle. Carol.
Yes.
She's the chief engineer on Pike's ship.
Okay.
And she wears this special badge next to her thing to let everybody know that she's a Lanthanite, because these are extremely long-lived people. And so they made Holly Hunter a Lanthanite too. So for some weird reason, she just drops, oh, well, my 427 years in all of this, and I know this stuff. So they're trying to explain why she's so loose, because she's old and doesn't give a shit. But is that the guy you want running the school for the new guys?
Well, so my thought is like, yeah. So like, this is the part where I'm kind of lost. It's like, it's 1,000 years in the future. This is the academy. This is like the next breed of people that you're putting into your ships.
Right.
And then you actually have an element, which is the War Council, which is like the War Council.
Right.
Who is looking to grab people out of here to put into the War Council. And the person in charge of it is like walking around barefoot through the place, but they're old. So there's
a lot of stuff like that they make you buy that makes you go, what? And there ends up being an explanation, but it's really dissatisfying and it comes later. So you're like, oh yeah, I was supposed to give a shit about that, and all they did was remind you about this dumb thing.
Yeah, interesting. Well, it is interesting that they kept Picardo on it and did the whole, I think we talked about it last week, like they did the Orlando Jones time machine.
Right.
So like on the show, is he enough of a prominent character because he's seen so much, or that's not even a relevant talking
sort
point?
of. He is like a valued member of the school, because it's kind of like getting to talk to the Mona Lisa about Leonardo da Vinci. I said DiCaprio.
Yeah. Him too.
Him too. But you know what I mean? So
yeah. I get that.
It's kind of cool, because he's got like sort of a crusty, irascible personality anyway. And Picardo is so comfortable doing that. Like, you've swallowed a comm badge? Well, that kind of thing. Yeah. And so it's valuable in the first couple episodes to have a character like that. but he also gets to split the difference about why things are so not different 1,000 years in the future.
Interesting.
And there's this whole thing that you just have to know about modern Star Trek, because like in Discovery, you had to know what the mirror universe was. They didn't really explain any of that.
Okay.
Right. And just expect it. Oh, Spock with a beard. Okay, let's just go.
Yes.
And that doesn't help you get new audiences. And so they're doing the same thing with this. It's like part of the giant conceit is that in Discovery season 4 or something, which was 125 years before this show exists.
Okay.
There was some kid hit the wrong button and destroyed dilithium across the galaxy.
The crystals that make
crystals
everything
that run the ships. So now all these ships are dead. And if you live on Vulcan, you're on Vulcan now. If you were just there on because you can't get back to Earth because it's you don't have faster than light travel anymore.
Oh, interesting.
So all of these pockets now. So that's about they're putting the Federation back together. They solve that at the end. They have this new thing, some gizmo. I don't know. And I didn't really pay attention because it's stupid.
Right.
But now that's the conceit of this show, is that these are all the new kids from the new situation. They're all been stuck on their planets for 125 years, the cultures. And so everybody kind of trenched on their own thing, and it got amplified. So like the Vulcans are super serious and logical. And the Beta Zeds, who are the Counselor Troy's people that like are full of empathy and stuff.
Are those the tattoo ones?
No, they had black contacts.
Okay.
They and so they would the tattoo ones. That's great.
What am I thinking of?
The like Ezri and Dax and
okay.
They have worms in them.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, they're yeah. There's so much stuff from the old. It's just that was a commentary in the 90s on, loving the other, right? Mm-hmm. That these characters were gender fluid by structure, right?
Yes.
Because they have a worm in them that is male or female or both or whatever. But that's opposite of the body, the host body that they use to walk around. It can be male or female or whatever. But so these guys are all like super into having like a fluid identity, right? And everybody in the 90s like got it.
Yeah.
And like half the guys like me are like, oh, that episode where the two girls are smooching.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah.
Had a little spit between them. Those actors really committed. That was great.
Yeah.
And then Discovery is like, let me explain to you about how homosexuality works.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was like so like I'm like, we're good. We
on the nose.
We have beloved characters that, even Zephyr Cochrane, who invented warp drive, the episode they introduced that guy in the original series was he was in love with a cloud monster. You know?
That's crazy.
And when you're a kid watching it, you're like, oh man, that's the coolest thing ever. But as you become an adult, it's like, oh yeah, right. He's in love with some non-traditional sentient being. I get it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what old Star Trek used to get away with on the regular. And this one, they're just so ham-handed about it. Look, the cloud creature is wearing a dress, but don't call her a she. That's what they would do.
That would exactly be a line in it.
What the hell, man? Anyway, we all went backwards the last 30 or 40 years, I think.
Well, we spent the majority of the time talking about Star Trek, so I'm
with you.
Yeah, and it must be a total different change of pace as opposed to price, So
well, we're just I mean, it's fun because we're talking about the same stuff. It's just that we're doing big picture stuff, and he's like, "No, that's a 3, not a 7."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Which is his own value. I sounds like I'm making fun of him, but
I always joke with Mark. I always say like, there's levels to these things, and you can be involved on a certain level with conversation. So. It's like I can't be in the price conversation. I could be in this one.
I mean, well, you could. You'd just be lost, and
I'd be lost. That's exactly right.
So I said the Beta Zeds had black contacts, right, to show you that's their alien thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell Chris this, so don't listen, Chris. But in the second episode, a whole bunch of it's called Beta Time or something, which I thought was cute because it was the second episode. But it's actually because Beta Zed is joining the Federation again. The whole episode is them talking them into it. But guess what? I didn't know that for like 20 minutes, which was a third of the episode, because they kept saying betazoids are showing up, and these people come in, and you're like, that's supposed to be the betazoid guys? Nobody had black contacts. So I honestly think that I had to no prize it. I honestly think they didn't know any fucking better, but they're like, well, it's 1,000 years in the future, so maybe they all have brown and blue eyes and just regular human eyes now. And yeah,
God, it's like
it's killing me.
Yeah,
cameo by Fat Lando. That's what we call Neil deGrasse Jr.
Oh yeah. Oh well, I assume that's who you're speaking of. Anyway, any thoughts on Kathleen Kennedy stepping down from Lucas or from what?
Yeah,
good, bad.
I am super. It's good in that I am super happy for Kathleen Kennedy, who fanboys forget was probably the most powerful woman in Hollywood.
Oh, for
easily the most successful woman producer in Hollywood in history, and she's fucking 72 years old. Yeah. So you know what? Why don't we let her retire with some grace?
Well, retire where you can enjoy
14 years of running Lucasfilm, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And all the fanboys going, she's a woman, doesn't know what you're talking about. We're all wrong. Forever.
But did I read that she's handing it to two people?
Yeah. And you know why that is, right? Because
Kevin
Feige was a business guy who just happened to love the X-Men. So that worked out for Marvel. And then they tried to do stuff with DC and it doesn't work. And then they go, hey, you know what? We need a creative guy and a business guy. And so they hired James Gunn and Dave Safran, whatever.
And his buddy. Yeah.
Safran. And that's humming along because it's super rare that somebody who understands creative 100%
also can manage your business stuff.
Business 100%.
Yeah.
So that seems like the biggest thing. Just give it to both.
Right.
Give it to your best business guy, and you already have Filoni, so you have your best creative guy. Yeah. Just do it like that, and so I think it's genius.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Filoni, is not great with the accountant sheets. That might be that could just be me. I don't know.
That's why Price and I do good Star Trek things though, because
different sides.
I'm all about the how did it make you feel? And he's like, were those naval construction contract numbers correct?
Right.
But that's good. You covered two.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yes.
And so what's creative and business? That's commercial art, right?
Yes. Oh,
and
for
how
sure.
many times you heard me say behind the booth, right, that you have to have 50% commerce and 50% art because you tip it one way or the other, and it goes over. And so, if it's too much art, then everybody's like, oh, look at my beautiful thing, and it doesn't sell. And then, but if it's too much commerce, it's like, oh, look, you put the fat girls in Star Trek again.
Yes.
Are they pregnant? Don't put them in the spandex. Oh, dang. It's like, well, look, we hired a really cute World Wrestling ring girl.
Right.
But, you put her in a thing to make her look like a tick.
Right, you can't.
What are you doing?
Right, she's athletic and I know exactly what you're talking. The one wrestler girl's on the show.
Yeah,
and it's
she's actually great. They didn't really do anything to her. I called her Lieutenant Commander MILF because I said something really unkind, but they did the shot around the thing because they know they screwed this up in Discovery, not giving the bridge crew any characters at all. Right. And so to the point when they did the Pike show, he came in and was like, oh, Captain so-and-so, Lieutenant so-and-so. Oh, you did that thing on that planet that one time. Thanks for taking that bullet for me. That stuff. And it didn't stick, but at least they made the effort, right?
And it acknowledged the existence of it.
Yeah. This time they did the exact same thing, except Walker and I were Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Just a little too heavy-handed.
So they just come up and they have the shot and they do Holly Hunter comes in and just gives little nods and a couple words to everybody.
Right.
And so it's basically reaction shots. So you're like, oh, this person's at the science station. This person's their communication.
Right.
This person's their Chekhov and Sulu. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so I look at there and I just went to Walker. I went, in time with the cuts, I went, oh great, fat girl, lesbian, Lieutenant Commander MILF, Asian model, and the guy with a beard, and it's like that's all they did in this scene.
Yeah.
Like the second it took me to do it that fast, they showed 5 characters.
Right.
That's super quick in Star Trek. And they should
yeah.
linger on everybody because
Right.
we're counting like the thread count on their shirts, you know? Or like, is that zipper a real invisible zipper, or did you guys just Velcro?
Right. Oh my God, is the badge aligned right? You know, is it skewed? Oh, did I lose you? Uh-oh. I don't know
what happened there. Did we come back?
I'm here. Are you good?
Yeah, I think that was me because both of us went at the same time.
Oh, no worries. No, I was saying like you're watching to see if their badge is upside down and stuff.
Right,
like that.
exactly. And yeah. Anyway, they're not. The people working on it aren't. Although, you know, it's hard to say that because there are so many artisans that are working like dogs. Like and it makes me feel badly when I say that like as a joke or like a hyperbolic statement of some kind. It's like, they're all fucking up. They're not. They're working like dogs, but it's in service of ass.
Yeah. So you know what? It's funny. It's like I remember back in the day when we would do like E3 would be a big thing, and when I was like in advertising and we'd do like E3 and I'd hire that's back when you could hire booth babes and have people walking around and stuff like that. And the one thing I always noticed would be like if you wanted to put on the right show, you had to keep the level of quality like if everyone's like at the top of their game, it's really hard for other people that are like later down the line to not be at the top of their game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like
stand out by slacking, even
right, exactly. So like you're super,
you
know, like when we did a bunch of stuff for like I'm thinking like a million years ago, but like when the video game Destiny came out, like Destiny for Bungie was like a huge deal, and it was like this is the company that made Halo. This is like their second thing. Mm-hmm. It's gonna get every piece of attention you could imagine. So at every moment, you have to be like legit. And if you're not, you're immediately like, hey, come over here. Like, let's chat because this is not going to work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everybody needs a tune up if you're not doing it 100%.
So then even so, like with like the Star Trek stuff, it's like if people in the beginning are like, don't kind of care, it trickles down, man. And it bleeds into different areas. And that's how you have like, you know, you got to run a tight ship and you got to be like, you got to be on it and you got to be like, you want it to be really great and perfect. And it sounds like they kind of don't give a shit a little bit.
Yeah. This, just so you know, this show has 14 executive producers.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just seems like, and then between that and building the giant set for no reason, I really think they had access to a bunch of money and they're like, well, let's just spend it, see what happens.
Yeah.
Line our coffers because that's the only way any of this makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they weren't hiring science fiction writers. They were hiring guys from the OC.
Yeah. Well, but it's also like when you have 14 executive producers, that's 14 people with 14 ideas on how to make something work or go better. So to get alignment between all those people, I mean, I was a producer, so I get it. It's like you don't go into something like there's one, like when you have 14 throats to choke, you have no throats to choke.
Right.
So if I can't immediately walk up to the one person I need to fucking scream in their face, pardon my French, I don't have anybody. So then it's like, who cares? You know what I mean? So
yeah, I do 100%.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's
yeah. I just, what's going to happen is, Walker will graduate and somebody he knows at school that he's networked in with for like 10 years will end up in charge of Star Trek.
Yep.
And then he'll get a space mail or whatever they're using in the future. And he'll just be like, his friend will go, it's time, and he'll go, I'm ready.
Yep.
And then they'll fix Star Trek.
Yep. Hopefully we're still driving down to San Diego. Maybe we're taking the bullet train or whatever they build by then. Hopefully. So.
I just assume, what Paramount will pay for me and you to go down there, right? Because Walker's show running.
Yeah, you would right.
Whatever,
exactly.
Yeah.
I hope he. I always joke. I always tell Lauren that I said, well, when Walker's running a studio, Larry promised me a little office that me, Larry, and Mark can go hang in.
Yeah.
And
So we're gonna have our chairs and we'll have our cigars and we'll sit there. And every once in a while, he'll come in and he's like, I have this. What do we call a rodent? Like a mouse or a ferret? What are you talking about?
Right.
And then he'll run out and get an Emmy for whatever we say.
Exactly. He'll be like,
and he'll be like, you three earned another year at the.
Yes, yeah. We'll still supply the pizza and the sodas still. It's like, he walks in and he's like, I have this idea for this, and then I'm like, well, have you seen this movie and this movie and this movie? Because I think you're kind of so.
That would be the best. Oh man, Walker, were you following? He built a bookcase for all the books he got.
I saw the nice with the pieces of extra wood.
He finished it up, and I didn't take a picture of it, the finished thing, but he's just loading it up with books. He's read 17 books since he's been home. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
What's
he's
he
like
reading
basically
now?
reading a novel every 3 days.
What's
he's been reading Donald E. Westlake, and then the Parker books where Westlake was writing as Richard Stark.
Oh, yep. Okay.
He read The Outfit, The Hunter, and The Man with the Getaway Face.
Okay.
I couldn't think of it because I haven't read that one.
Didn't two things remind me? Didn't Darwin Cook do a bunch of comics from it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, did Darwin Cook pass away?
Yes.
He did. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like
about 10 years ago.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So in the sense that IDW actually, so much time has passed that IDW did hardcovers of those Parker books.
Yes.
And so I got him the first 4 for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
He actually likes the novels better.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So that was, I didn't expect that to happen, but that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Darwin Cook's got a unique style, but I always like. I think the subject matters that he would pick and he'd end up doing I thought were always pretty lights out. So yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah, no, he ended up liking it. What was a little rough was the first one's The Hunter.
Yeah,
and in Darwin Cook's adaptation, he shows the first 14 pages are silent.
Oh, interesting.
So Walker, having never encountered that guy's art before, and then being a writer that wants to read.
Oh, he was
kind of like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, and so he actually hopped over to the novel and then read the novel and then went back to it. It was like, having known what was going on, he enjoyed it a lot more.
No, that's
started
cool.
reading the rest of it.
Yeah, so. I think that's the only one I think I ever remember reading. The Hunter, I think that's the first one. So yeah. I gotta mentally I don't know. I got to download a CBR file and see if I can skim it on my iPad.
I kept telling him, I was like, you would really like New Frontier, man. Like if you
man.
You had started New Frontier, and got a feel for his art. I just gave you the wrong thing first. And he goes, yeah, like Airplane. Like I'm never gonna live that down. I thought he would enjoy Airplane when he was about 12. And he was right in between the absurdity wasn't absurd enough, the sex was too sexy, and all the references were stuff he wasn't familiar with yet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so he's like, that movie sucks, and I just kind of went, all right, no, that was me, man. This movie does not suck. We're gonna check it out later. And then during the coronavirus, he watched all the Simpsons, and he got used to understanding references before seeing the source material.
Yes,
and so then he actually went back. He was telling his buddies at school this, and so they all watched Airplane, and he thought it was hilarious. I'm like, well, that's the difference between 12 and 18. Yeah, that was my bad. Like you were going through Community and doing all this stuff, so I thought you were a little ahead, but it turns out it was the 1980s jokes.
Yes.
He got
it didn't land. It didn't land until
got that they were telling jokes, but he just didn't get them, And I was like, "What's to get about the loading? The white zone is for loading and unloading only."
Yeah,
he's like, "Yeah, I don't get why that's funny as a kid." And I'm like, "Oh right. Yeah, I got you."
The craziest part about Airplane is I think I maybe knew this, but I just heard it again recently. I never realized that it was a parody of the movie 0 Hour.
Yeah.
So there's a movie 0 Hour, and it's just a complete parody,
It's a
scene
rip.
for scene. And the other part, and I think we probably chatted about this before, that I never understood, and I think Bill Hader said it. He goes, I because I'm younger, Robert Stack and all the actors in it, I guess I didn't realize that that's their first, like, they're all straight men.
Yeah.
Like, they're all,
Yeah.
like, they're like Lloyd and like
Lloyd Bridges,
Leslie
Nielsen.
They're all like the straight men.
Even Kareem, man.
Kareem, so the idea that it's a scene for scene parody of this movie, and all the guys that are normal, like, that's kind of insane to think that you could get people to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's 80. That's 1980.
1980, yeah.
What's the big comedy before 1980? If you really like, I was trying to think of that. Like, not that I think it's a milestone comedy, but it really is. If you think about it. Yeah,
100%. That's a milestone, because they started a whole thing. Like, after that, there were a ton of airplane type movies. You know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, the Farrelly brothers basically owe the Zuckers their career, you know?
Oh, yeah, true.
So, yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, Stripes was 79, right? Or Meatballs?
79?
I mean,
that's got to be 80s, right?
Airplane came out in a time, though, that
our Airplane is 80.
That comedies were great. I mean, even like Hero at Large, I'm pretty sure that was 1980, with John Ritter as that's
the 82. Yep.
82, yeah.
No, 80.
Oh, 1980 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but Meatballs is 79.
Uh-huh.
Hero at Large is, I gotta do that. I'm gonna do my little, I'm gonna go down my rabbit hole. That'll be fun.
All right. Well, it's an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh shit! I didn't even look at the clock.
Yeah. Well, because we could talk for another 2 hours.
Yeah. Man. This is what never translates is, before we decided to start recording this. This is essentially our online communication back and forth
this whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. So too funny.
Anyway.
Well, we'll wrap up this one, and thanks everyone for listening in to our Star Trek nonsense. And
thanks for talking Star Trek with us.
Yeah, of course, man, love it. Yeah, I guess we're
doing Zodiac, me and Randolph on Wednesdays.
Oh, I love Zodiac.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and neither has he. So that'll be
really
good.
Yeah. A lot of people
love Ruffalo. I love San Francisco stuff.
A lot of people think that's Robert Downey Jr.'s best movie.
Oh, really?
Best movie, yes.
Wow.
And Jake Gyllenhaal.
Better than Dr. Doolittle.
Well, that's no comment there.
Yeah.
My favorite Robert Downey Jr. movie will always be Back to School. So
I was going to say, I love Back to School, but it kind of doesn't count because everybody's 17 in that movie.
Yeah, but I love him so much in that movie. I love that when they de-aged him in whatever the movie is, that's what they ripped it from. So
I said that in the theater. I was like, this is perfect. And the reason I know is because I've seen Back to the Future 1,000 times.
Back to School.
That looks like, or Back to.
I know what you meant.
You know what I mean? Back to School.
Yeah, love it.
But I mean, that's what he looks like.
That's what he looks like. Yeah.
So that's a good one.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Anyway. Well, gentlemen, and people watching, thank you for listening, and we'll end the stream and see you next week. You do the. I'll let you.